How Drake spends his money. Celebrities live a large on-screen life, and most of them earn enough to replicate that level of luxury in their everyday lives. Rapping his way to the list of those who can is our subject of today, Drake. Being the youngest on Forbes' list of the top 5 richest hip-hop artists, Drake is racking in a lot and spending just as much. And if his net worth of over $150 million is anything to go by, the Champagne Papi can definitely afford his on-screen lifestyle, with a lot of leftovers. Now, when he was singing about the bling of hotlines, we all thought he was only talking about the ringing sound, but just you wait till you find out just the amount of bling this superstar has. Starting from the multiple sources of income that take care of his expenses, down to the luxurious views he enjoys, here is a breakdown of how Drake spends his money. Income. Born Aubrey Drake Graham, the Canadian native is a successful multi-award-winning rapper, singer, actor, producer, label owner, and entrepreneur. Drake first rose to fame for his performance as Jimmy on the Canadian show Degrassi: The Next Generation. When his time on the show was over, he took his music career seriously and launched straight for the stars. His very first studio album, Thank Me Later, debuted at #1 on the billboards, and ever since, it has been an upward movement for the superstar. Recognized as an international star with best-selling records all over the world, Drake has sold over 170 million records. In fact, the Recording Industry Association of America has ranked him as the world's highest certified digital singles artist. And that's just one of the hottest areas of his income, but the bulk of it comes from ticket sales for his world tours. Drake's Boy Meets World tour of 2017 brought a larger portion of his $94 million in earnings that year, and his Summer 16 tour brought in $85 million the year before. From the trend of success, it's not hard to imagine how much more recent tours have brought in. But that's not all. Since he first came into the spotlight as a rapper, Drake has done a great job of promoting his hometown, Toronto, and this has brought him great rewards. Early in his career, Drake was announced as the global ambassador of the Toronto Raptors. This role paid him heavily, no doubt, but Drake isn't one to slack, and his impact on the team has been felt both locally and at the NBA levels. And that's just the beginning. In 2015, after the launch of Apple Music, Drake was announced as the figurehead for the platform with an exclusivity deal worth $19 million. Drake has also had endorsement deals from Sprite, Burger King, and Whataburger, which were very lucrative in bringing his earnings to $94 million between 2016 and 2017. Beyond the endorsement deals, Drake also set out to make a name for himself as an entrepreneur. He started his own record label, OVO Sound, in 2012, named after his October's very own title. The OVO brand has since grown into exploring radio and fashion. In 2016, Drake announced his new business, a whiskey brand called Virginia Black, which sold over 4,000 bottles in the first week of its release. A year later, Drake and Future co-founded Dream Crew, a production company focused on management and entertainment. In typical Drake style, just a year later in 2018, he invested in 100 Thieves, a gaming organization, by purchasing major stakes which are now estimated to be worth $125 million. Expenditures. It goes without saying that Drake has a very successful music career and an entrepreneurial hunch that is just as successful. All of that goes on to equal a net worth of over $150 million. That's a lot of money, so what does he spend it on? Well, the saying is go big or go home, and all we can say is Drake went home in a big way. Think about the most luxurious thing you're willing to spend money on. How much does it cost? Now, take that figure and triple it. Wait, multiply it by 10. Yeah, that should put you in the lower range of Drake's expense. Don't be surprised yet. Just wait till you find out what his most expensive basic item is. From his clothes to his properties, Drake spares no expense for the best, so let's just get right to it. Real estate. Spending more is one thing, but spending smartly is another, and Drake seems to have mastered the art of smart investments. He understands the value of dealing with real estate and has acquired some exquisite properties in the last decade or so. Drake is the proud owner of a 2-acre property in Toronto, Canada known as the Drake Manor, and it cost him $6.7 million to build from the ground, fitting it to his taste. He also has a mansion in Hidden Hills, California, which is a pretty popular location for the homes of top celebrities like the Kardashians. This mansion is worth $27 million, but Drake got a deal and bought it for $7.7 million. Nicknamed the YOLO Estate, the mansion has a wine cellar, game room, home theater, and standard tennis court, among other exciting features. Drake also bought 2 ranches close to his mansion, and one of the ranches is worth $4.5 million, while the other is worth $2.8 million. These properties bring Drake's ownership in the high sought-after Hidden Hills neighborhood to a total of 6.7 acres, or in simpler terms, a whole lot of money. Aircraft. What's a millionaire without a private jet? Not Drake, that's for sure. In 2019, the international bestseller unveiled his Boeing 767-300F jet, which cost well over $180 million. Later in 2020, he gave the aircraft named Air Drake a revamp that was done by Louis Vuitton men's creative director Virgil Abloh. The converted cargo plane features a spacious lounge with gold-plated interior. Running costs for Air Drake can go as high as $200,000, including fueling. But what's a few thousand to a millionaire? Cars. Everyone has a dream car, and when you're a celebrity, you can afford a lot of dream cars. Drake's Garage has just one message for you. Just hold on, we're going home. The 4-time Grammy Awards winner has a jaw-dropping collection that includes a McLaren 675 LT worth $350,000 and a Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren convertible. But these aren't even chipping at the iceberg of Drake's Garage. He has a Bentley Continental GTC V8, a Brabus 850 6.0 bit-turbo coupe, a Lamborghini Aventador Roadster, a Maybach 62S, a Lamborghini Gallardo, a Bentley Mulsanne, and a Mercedes Maybach Pullman, all averaging at $400,000. But that's not all. Drake also caught the Rolls-Royce fever and got a custom Rolls-Royce Phantom that's worth about $455,000. Thought we were done? Not just yet. The most expensive car in this superstar's garage is his Bugatti Veyron that costs, wait for it, $2 million, with maintenance going over well over $100,000. Luxury is for those who can afford it, and only those. Jewelry. It is very possible that Drake has one of the most impressive jewelry collections in the world of hip-hop. He loves his ice and he isn't afraid to splurge or show it. To start with, Drake has a custom phone case bearing his OVO mascot and is made with diamonds. His phone case is worth well over $400,000. Talk about actual hotline bling. He is also known to drop heavy sums when it comes to his rings, necklaces, and studs. Drake has a chain worth $200,000, and for his 33rd birthday, he went all out. The Tootsie Slide singer got himself a couple of hard ice, high-priced jewelry, including his 22-karat heart-shaped platinum ring that cost $500,000 and a $150,000 custom-made Raptors NBA championship ring. Must be fun to gift yourself with almost $1 million worth of jewelry. But then, anything is possible when you're Drake. Fashion and appearance. One of the most iconic things about Drake, other than his amazing music, is his amazing style. To validate this point, GQ actually named him one of the most stylish men alive. And his perfect looks don't come cheap. Drake uses top-notch stylists whose services cost around $30,000 on a monthly basis. And this is aside from the logistics of their travel and cost of shopping. When it comes to his wardrobe, Drake has a very fancy street style, adorned with expensive jewelry. He has been in several tag-ripping outfits, from an $11,000 Brioni jacket to a $1,500 Moncler puffer jacket, often paired with his collection of expensive wristwatches. He owns the finest Audemars Piguet, Cartier, and Richard Mille wristwatches. And like most people who can afford them, Drake has an affinity for Rolex wristwatches, and he has a few of them. In his collection, Drake has a $200,000 biker Rolex and a Rolex Day Date 40 made with 18-karat gold. Sneakers. Now, you would expect that sneakers are under the fashion expenditure of Drake's life, but the cost of his sneakers collection will convince you otherwise. Drake's style features a lot of sneakers, so trust him to go for the premium. Drake has his own collection of Air Jordans, called the Air Jordan OVOs, but that's not the most exciting part of his sneaker shelves. The Marvin's Room rapper has a pair of custom-made OVO X Air Jordan 10 sneakers, which was made with, get this, actual gold. Yep. The not-to-wear sneakers were designed by Matthew Senna using a 24 karat of gold to replicate the OVO X Air Jordan 10 for Drake. The shoes are worth a smashing sum of $2 million. And we can definitely understand why Drake isn't stepping up in Toronto or LA casually wearing them. Others. There's nowhere else to fit his indulgences because really, everything is an indulgence when you're worth over $100 million. But Drake has some expenses that are closer to his heart. For instance, he hunted for a rare copy of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone that was worth $160,000. His most exciting expense is a collection of Hermes Birkin bags. In 2017, the Nice for What singer revealed that he has been collecting the bags worth $40,000 to $500,000 for his future wife, whoever she ends up being. The entire collection could cost well over $4 million, and it is heartwarming to know that Drake is ready to shower someone with these gifts. Philanthropy. Future spouse is not the only person that Drake feels like giving something nice and expensive. He has a track record for spending as much as he earns, and he enjoys giving out just as much. In April 2010, Drake donated $30,000 to a Jamaican learning center after visiting the community to shoot a video. The next year, he donated $10,000 honorarium from the Alan Slate Award to Dixon Hall, a charity that helps low-income people in Toronto. In 2013, Drake donated to the Union Gospel Mission of Portland. 2 years later, he donated $75,000 to fund a recording studio for Strawberry Mansion High School in Philadelphia. Drake donated $200,000 towards the 2017 Hurricane Harvey relief efforts, and the next year brought about his highest philanthropic act to date. In January 2018, Drake released the audio for God's Plan, and decided to turn his trip to Miami for the video shoot into an outreach of sorts. He donated the video budget of $1 million to residents, organizations, and schools in Miami in a series of random cash gifts, scholarships, spa treatments, paying for groceries, and even buying someone a car. Final thoughts. Drake is a millionaire who lives the life of a superstar in every sense of the word. But there is a heart in the center of all the partying we have seen time and time again. He worked very hard for his wealth, and he enjoys the rewards with a full smile. The singer-rapper is not ashamed to show off some of his finest jewelry and cars, but he does so with an air of gratitude that reminds everyone that he started from the bottom. We can only dream of having one shot at a tour of his wardrobe, but above everything else, Drake spends his money and spends it well.